give a historical summary of how apply concealer in triangle under eyes helps makeup fit your face type. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about how you can apply concealer in the triangle under the eyes to help your makeup look better suited for your face shape. I am a historical reenactor, and I love sharing historical beauty secrets with you all. Now, I actually learned this tip from one of my viewers who had commented on one of my videos that she learned it from a TikTok. So if you know who that TikToker is, please let us know down below, because I would love to check out her content and give her credit for this amazing tip. Now, let's get into it. Let us talk about how to fill in the triangle under your eye with concealer to help make your makeup look more suited for your face shape. So, first off, what do I mean by triangle under the eye? Okay, so if we were to bring in some visual aids here, what I mean is right under the eye where we tend to see the hollows or the dip of our eye sockets. That area tends to be triangular in nature, especially if you have a hollow cheek like myself. And if we were to bring in some visual aids here, this is a very exaggerated version of someone who has a triangle under their eye. You can see the hollowness there. This is again an exaggerated version of someone who does not have a triangle under their eye. They have more of a straight line right across. So why would we want to fill in this triangle under our eye with concealer? Well, it's because when we do fill in this triangle under our eye, it creates a little bit more of a balance in our overall face shape. So, what kind of face shapes will benefit from filling in the triangle under the eye? Well, it really depends on what your other features are like. So, if you have a strong jawline, then you likely have a more angular face shape. If you have a strong jawline and maybe rounder cheeks, then you likely have more of a square face shape. If you have a weak jawline, then you likely have more of a softer face shape. And if you have a weak jawline and rounded cheeks, then you likely have more of a circular face shape. So if you have any of these face shapes that I just mentioned, you can definitely benefit from filling in the triangle under your eye with concealer. Now, again, this is not going to be a one-size-fits-all situation. Everyone is beautiful in their own way and unique in their own way. But if you'd like to try this out, see how you feel, then let's get into the tutorial. So before we get started, I just want to say that you don't need any special tools to do this. You could just use your fingers. But if you want to get a little bit more precise with this application, you can pick up a small fluffy brush, a small angled brush, or even a beauty blender. So for this tutorial, I will be using a small fluffy brush. Now, once you have your concealer and your brush, the next step is to find your triangle. Now, if you have the privilege of having great lighting overhead and a mirror that's large enough to be able to see your entire face, then that's amazing. You can definitely do this step at your mirror. What I find to work best for me is to find natural lighting outside. You can also bring in a handheld mirror if that's easier for you. But being in natural lighting outside allows me to see my entire face, and I can clearly see where my triangle under the eye is located. Once you locate your triangle under your eye, go ahead and take your concealer and fill it in. I like to tap my brush inside the concealer so that it gets a little bit compressed, and then I can control the amount of concealer that I'm picking up on my brush. Then I like to do a little bit of tapping around the area that I am applying the concealer to, just to get rid of any excess skin, and then apply the concealer with a light hand. Again, you don't have to use a brush. You could just use your fingers. Your fingers may give a little bit more warmth to the concealer and help it blend in just a little bit easier. But if you're using a brush, make sure to use a very light hand and apply the concealer very lightly. We just want to fill in that triangle under the eye so that it gives a little bit more balance to our face shape. It's not meant to cover everything. We do not want to overdo it and end up caking on a bunch of product under our eye. We just want to fill it in nice and light, and then we'll move on to the next step. The next step is to take a slightly larger brush and take some translucent powder and then dust it over the top of the concealer. This will help set the concealer and make sure that it stays in place all day long. Now, depending on what products you're using, this should be relatively quick and easy. The concealer should go on smoothly and blend in easily with your skin tone, and the powder should go on smoothly and evenly over the top of the concealer. Once you've done that, the next step is to move on to the rest of your makeup. Now, if you're doing a full face, you're going to want to go in with foundation all over the rest of your skin. And then you can move on to blush, bronzer, highlighter, eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara, lips, whatever else you want to include in your makeup look. Now, if you are somebody who is trying to decide whether or not you want to wear a full face, a half face, or maybe you just want to wear concealer and a little bit of mascara, that's totally fine as well. Totally fine to wear just concealer and a little bit of mascara. Or if you want to add a little bit of lip color, you can definitely do that as well. It's totally up to you. Just remember, babe, you are beautiful just the way you are. Makeup is just a fun way to express yourself and play around with colors and have some fun. Now, as you're doing the rest of your makeup, you want to take a clean makeup sponge or a clean brush and then make sure that you are blending everything out nicely and making sure that there is no harsh lines of where the concealer ends and your skin tone begins. We want it to look as seamless as possible. Once you've done that, you've got your entire face done and you can see what it looks like. So now let's talk about how to tweak this technique to suit different face shapes. Like I mentioned earlier, I have a more angular face shape. My jawline is fairly strong. I have a strong chin, so I have a more angular face shape. So for me, I like to keep my makeup pretty angular as well. So I will fill in my triangle under my eye, and I will also angle the concealer upwards towards my temple. By doing so, I create a little bit more of an angle in my eye area, and it suits my overall face shape. If you have a more round face shape, you can still definitely benefit from filling in your triangle under your eyes. But in this case, I would recommend that you apply the concealer straight across. By doing so, you're not adding any extra angles to your face shape. You're just filling in the hollow there to create a little bit more of a balance. Now, if you have a more oval face shape, you can do either method. You can either angle it upwards towards your temples, or you can apply the concealer straight across. It really just depends on the look that you're going for. If you have a heart face shape, you'll likely have a strong forehead and a strong jawline. For this face shape, I would recommend angling the concealer downwards towards the corner of your mouth. By doing so, you're creating a little bit more of a balance between your strong forehead and your strong jawline. Now, if you have a diamond face shape, you'll likely have a strong cheekbone structure and a strong jawline. For this face shape, you can apply the concealer straight across under your eye. So those are some tips for how to fill in your triangle under your eye to help make your makeup look better suited for your face shape. Remember, this is not a one-size-fits-all situation. Everyone is beautiful in their own way and unique in their own way. But if you'd like to try this out, see how you feel, then give it a shot. Have some fun with it. And remember, no matter what you choose to do with your makeup, no matter what you choose to highlight, accentuate, or downplay, you are beautiful just the way you are. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. Also, please don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell so that you never miss an upload. I would love to have you here as a part of the community. Anyways, that's it for me. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.